I was able to try out a Sony A7R V at the Bristol Renaissance Faire in Wisconsin. My friend purchased this camera a while back. With the Sony 28mm f2 and the 85mm f1.8, all of its used equipment from KH. I tend to use a smartphone at the event. It's so much more convenient, easy, still get some photography in. This year I did use the Sony camera as well as the phone, so I'll have two videos eventually. A great place to enjoy the unique medieval themed atmosphere and have fun with friends, of course, which is what I do. Build quality, ergonomics, camera feels very solid.
That is impressive.
It's definitely got that professional feel to it.
Considering the level of technology in this camera, it still is relatively compact. This is one of the best implementations of a fully articulating back screen on a camera. You can do self-filming, self-photography, but you can also do traditional tilt on the back with landscape photography. The one downside, obviously, is that it is a bit thicker than usual for the screen because of all of the physical mechanics involved. The screen has 2 million dots, so you're going to have decent resolution on there. They did also improve the menu system compared to older models. The viewfinder has 0.9x magnification and around 9.4 million dots, so pretty much as good as you can get with the viewfinder on a Sony camera. It has 2 locking dials on the top. It is nice. I do prefer having locks on those type of dials so they don't get changed when you're moving the camera around. Triple dial design that allows you to do the full exposure triangle with physical controls if you prefer that. This is pretty much the kitchen sink of Sony cameras. Got the microphone port, headphone port, 2 USB ports. One is USB-C, the other is micro USB, full-sized HDMI port, flash sync port for studio use, as well as a thumbstick for autofocus control. Pretty much everything you would need or want in physical controls on this camera. It has the dual combination CF Express Type A and SD card slots. In my opinion, that's the best option available. The camera defaulted to compressed RAW, seemed fine with speed and such on the SD cards that we were using. I also set up the camera to do instant backup between the 2 SD cards. This is the high resolution camera from Sony, 61 megapixels. This is probably one of the few cameras I've used at this resolution. It's a lot of information. This amount of resolution on the sensor definitely pushes your lenses to the limit. It's going to be expensive and challenging to find lenses that actually resolve this amount of potential detail. There is internal stabilization on the sensor, so you will potentially get some benefit there and try to eke out as much information as possible. My current older computer definitely struggles viewing these images. Logically, I don't personally feel the need for this amount of detail, but hey, it's nice to have if you can get that level of camera. Autofocus felt very quick, very prompt, very confident, although looking through the photos, a lot of my pictures really didn't focus where I wanted or just had some potential issues. I think it was related to shutter speeds and what the camera decided to default to based on the given situation. Obviously, with more time, more effort looking through the menus and adjusting settings, I could definitely get a lot better results out of the camera, but with a ton of the defaults, just know that you're not going to get perfect photography without putting in the effort to adjust settings and make it work. The camera isn't magic. But with some time and knowledge and effort, you're definitely going to get really great photos out of the camera. As for the lenses, the 85mm f1.8 was pretty decent, but it did have a lot of color fringing. Optically, I'm not sure it's amazing, but it could be the specific copy of the lens. However, considering 61 megapixels of potential resolution, you're going to get everything. Oh, and the 85mm had a ding on it, so it's possible optically there was something a little bit off. The 28mm f2, like that lens, very nice. Enjoyed it. Having f2 maximum aperture is great. And for an event like this, I think 28mm would be my preferred focal length compared to 85, but depending on the situation, either one is nice. Photography at the Renaissance Fair. There are a lot of options. There are people working the event. I call them performance artists. That's a great option for either lens with this camera. You got scenery, architecture, so many interesting little details that you can photograph. Props, statues, armor displays, all the crowds, and especially the joust is a great one with this combination of a quick high-resolution camera with the 85mm lens. Worked out nicely. Flowers, even cosplayers at the event. Saw these ones from Delicious in the Dungeon, whatever it's called. Very cool. Renaissance fairs are fun events, especially with friends. I like going to it every year. With a camera like this, you're definitely going to have a huge amount of options with photography. I don't personally know if I would want to bring a large camera a lot of the time to an event like this, especially in the summer. It's hot, there's a lot going on. But if you are super into photography and you want to use your equipment that you buy at this level, go for it. You can have a lot of great options at an event like this. As for the camera itself, very cool. It's impressive. I definitely felt like I needed a lot more time to understand the camera, all the settings, options to improve the photos that I would take with it. But even so, it worked out pretty decently well, just using it at defaults for the most part. This specific camera had version 2 firmware, just wouldn't come back into function after going into sleep mode. Not totally sure what was going on. Might be firmware related. I don't know, but at least know that it was doing that while using the camera. Hope you enjoyed the video. Scott for FV Bonsai. Thanks.